Well, I mean, obviously affected me because I can't be in the group with Novak. It reshuffles the entire draw. Same when someone like Juan Martino that also doesn't play. So, and then obviously in terms of excitement and star power and legendary status, obviously he's going to be missed. But what to do? You move on and wish him the best and hope he recovers well and comes back again really nice and strong next year. And for us, the tournament only is about to start, and the focus is on the players who are here and on the fans who are going to hopefully have a really good time seeing some great tennis.
99 title wins. What would it mean to get the 100th here at the end of the season in London? And just reflect on what you've been able to achieve in your career in terms of the longevity and just the sort of prolific nature of winning tournaments after tournament.
I mean, I don't think it matters really where I win my 100th, as long as it's going to happen at one point. That's going to be exciting. I think if I won here, it's more about winning the World Tour Finals and not about winning my 100th. I think I love playing this event, always have, ever since I qualified for the very first time back in 2002. That was a massive highlight in my career, to be amongst the best 8, and I actually had a great run too that very first time in Shanghai. Now here at the O2, we've really had some great crowds, beautiful, great venue. It was good matches too, so that's my focus here. It's not so much, I know it goes in hand at this point, but the focus is on trying a good tournament here, and the 100 happens when it does, and I hope it's obviously rather sooner than later, but happy to wait as well if it happens.
Roger, you've obviously got another tournament to go, but how would you rate your regular season for 2018?
Good. If I would have known last year that this was going to be the season, I would have taken it. If I would have known that this was going to be the season in my year I was injured, I would have taken it right away. If I would have known this would have been the season 4 or 5 years ago, I would have taken it too. So I'm very happy that I won a slam. I'm very happy I played as well as I did throughout the season. Had maybe Wimbledon and US Open didn't go the way I was hoping to, but those were really the only 2 disappointments of the season. I won a bunch of tournaments again. Played great at the Australian Open, and again won my home tournament in Basel, won the Laver Cup, played well at the Hopman Cup. I don't know, I've just had a really solid season, and I stayed injury free also in particular for most of the year, so I'm actually very happy with this season so far. And we have one more left, so hope I don't go on vacation with 3 losses, let's put it that way.
Roger here. You had a good record against Kei recently, so you won in Shanghai and Paris. Does it help to you playing first match here? Does it help you?
Oh yeah, so when I played him in Paris, I knew he was fighting to be in the World Tour Finals. At that point, we didn't know what was going to happen with Rafa and Juan Martín yet, but I figured that there was a chance he was going to make it, to the World Tour Finals, and if he did, I knew there was maybe a chance I would play him in the group, or maybe even the very first match, especially if Rafa didn't play. So it's exactly what happened. That's why I think I tried really hard in Paris, tried to get another win against him, to hopefully help me with confidence in the match now I have against him in the first round-robin match here in London. Look, I always said it, I like his style of play. He's got one of the best backhands in the game, and I've had some exciting ones against him, and I think especially Shanghai was a great match. I think in Paris he didn't play as well. Maybe he was also a bit tired because it's been a long season now at the end for him, but I'm very happy for him. He made the World Tour Finals again after a bit of a rocky season, especially at the beginning of the season, was being injured. Mm-hmm.
Roger, I think you've won this title 6 times, but the last time was 7 years ago, I think 2011. As you get older, does it get more difficult to sustain your form and your fitness right through to the end of a season?
I don't think so. I just think, it just didn't happen because of my opponents, maybe potentially also a little bit. maybe I wasn't outright dominating the season as well. So then dominating the field is not something that comes very easy. I think it's really only Novak at this point who can say like, well, if I play as well as I have the last few months, maybe I can also win the World Tour finals, but not even that is a given, because especially in best of 3 set matches indoors, margins are slimmer. So you can slip fast, and I've played well, since 2011, even though I didn't end up winning the World Tour finals anymore. But I feel like I've done well, and it doesn't feel like it's that long ago. So I just feel like there was always a couple of guys maybe just a little bit better during that week. Yes.
A decision will be made in the coming months on whether this event stays in London or leaves, in your opinion. I don't know if you'll still be playing in 2021, but do you think it should stay or go?
I think if they stay, I think it's definitely a good choice, I don't know what the options are. I think the options clearly are also important to look at. I know this is the biggest yearly event they have here at the O2, and if the O2 is happy, the crowds keep still flocking and coming here to this venue, and the tour has a good deal. Obviously, why not stay here? I don't see there's a reason to change unless there is somebody else, really, a city, that really wants it badly and is willing to come in and really support the tour in a major way for many years to come, like what we've seen in Shanghai, or maybe also with London in the beginning. But it's been a winning formula here, and I've enjoyed playing in a city that knows tennis very well and has got a strong media following as well, and it's been a good place for us, the players, to showcase our talents, to be honest. And the year-end season, after Paris, has been an easy one. I remember when he was back in Houston and Shanghai for many years, it wasn't so simple, but that was not a problem. I was willing to make the trip, But I'm also curious to find out what's going to happen afterwards, because of course you also have to protect the tour, moving forward. What's best for the players and the tour.
Last in English, Simon, please.
Roger, you've no Rafa, no Stan, no Andy this week. From what you've seen of Andy Murray's comeback so far, what sort of level do you think he can get back to, and what's the biggest challenge when you're coming back from a serious injury?
So you're talking about Murray, right?
Yeah. In particular, yeah.
And your question was also about Stan?
Well, no, the question is more, the absentees, but when someone's coming back from a serious injury like Andy, what's the biggst hurdle to overcome, and how do you see his comeback progressing? Well,
I feel like he very quickly played top 30 level, so that level he found fairly quickly and fairly easy, I'd say, and he was not at 100%, so that makes me feel good, about his chances when he does come back, and I would assume he will only feel better by the time he does come back. So that's a positive. Problem is that he has been world number one. He has won double Olympic gold. He has done it all, so it's not enough to play last 16 or quarters, So for that, I feel like you probably want to feel like you can play top 10 level, and then top 5, how it is. It becomes, can you play week in, week out, or play less like I do, but be really successful in those weeks. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to come back. But I'm confident that if he does feel 100%, it's not going to be a problem for him to play at the very top. I just can't tell you how he's feeling, So from that standpoint, I'm in the same boat like you guys.
Roger, most team sports have a hierarchy of coaches and owners, whereas in tennis you kind of control your career. You employ everyone in your team. Do you like having that control over your career, and are there ever any kind of difficulties with that? Obviously, aside from your family, as I said, you employ everyone.
Yeah, it's awkward in the beginning, to be quite honest. Being young and paying salaries, it's not something it's very usual, to be honest. So that's why I enjoyed the time when I had support from the federation, and I didn't have to worry about these things. But at one point, you start winning your own money and living off the backs of the federation. Nobody thought it was fair, the federation and not my family. So we tried to come to an arrangement where I started paying my own coaches and went forward that way. Nowadays it's normal, but I think the transition is kind of tricky, because from being taught what to do, and you not paying him, it's logical you're going to listen. But maybe if all of a sudden you are paying the salary, now you feel like, well, if I don't like it, I can get rid of him. And it's just so wrong, you know. And I think I was lucky I never thought that way or felt that way. I always looked at it as, well, they are older, they're more experienced, they know what they're talking about, and I require their services to become a better player. So I respect that, and they are here to tell me what I don't want to hear, maybe. And that's what I think is the tricky situation, I'm sure. And for me, it's been great because I've also learned how to cope with the career and, you know, I don't want to say human resources, but you kind of, you know, everybody has their little battles, you know, maybe too much time on the road or traveling didn't work as, you know, we wanted. Transport got forgotten. Whose mistake is it? Is it mine, maybe? Is it my team? Who is it? You know, and you want to make sure everybody's happy. And I think I navigated well through it, but it's I've also needed help. But I've been lucky also. I've been surrounding myself with great people and great coaches and so forth. So I've been very lucky.